Chuck, you made this?
Now how we left things got me uncomfortable. I guess I wanna know if I ever cross your mind.
All right, here we are. This is episode 9, season 1 of Up Next podcast. Today we have a special guest that we're excited to have on the pod and excited to pick his brain a little bit and talk to. But before we get into that, we want to go ahead and give a shout out to some of our sponsors out there. First, we want to shout out Day One Clothing Apparel Company here in Chicago. You can follow them on Instagram at Day1312. We also want to give a shout out to Nick Pruitt Glass. You can find them on Instagram as well at Nick Pruitt Glass. That's where I go to get all my 420 pieces, whether it's bowls, bongs, anything, you can always find something there. And they're all custom made, so it's pretty sick. Third, we want to give a shout out to Baba's African Meat Pies, located on Foster and Broadway here in Chicago. So all my meat pie eaters, go ahead and check that out. They're pretty fire. They're available in beef and chicken. They're gas. That's all I got to say about that. So today we're going to do things a little differently. We also wanted to go ahead and announce that on our podcast, we're going to be dropping a lot more on YouTube and on Instagram rather than, so much Spotify heavy like we have been. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and introduce our guest. Here today with us, we have professional snowboarder Jake Pates. Jake Pates, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, what's up? Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. Stoked to connect and talk. My name is Jake. 22 years old, professional snowboarder, founder of Happy Healthy Brain Foundation and Brainwave. I live in Colorado, and I like to make music and skateboard and chill with friends, and that's about it. But yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem. Hey, we're happy to have you. So we got connected through a mutual friend. Bruce, we had him on an earlier pod, so I'm so thankful for him for having us, get connected. It's pretty sick, kind of weird how the world works, and connects people. We both mentioned that you're a professional snowboarder. Tell us about that a little bit. What got you into snowboarding? How old were you when you started?
Yeah, kind of a crazy story, I guess. My mom just took me up. I skied for a while. I was in like a Buddy Warner program with my brother and some friends when I was like 6 or 7. I guess it really started, my passion for snowboarding started out from skateboarding, really. I started skateboarding at a young age, maybe like 4. It was a long time ago, hard to remember what age exactly, but I started skateboarding and kind of just loved board sports, loved watching X Games and stuff. My mom took me out to go snowboarding, taught me how to do it on a local mountain. Dude, I just fell in love with it. Never really stopped. So
yeah, you said you're from Colorado, or you just reside in Colorado now?
No, Colorado local.
Local.
I lived up in the Vail Valley for like most of my life. I was born in Boulder and then moved up there when I was 2.
Sick. All right, nice. Yeah, so I lived in Breck a little bit. That's how I know Bruce. I lived in Summit County for a little bit. I love my time there. I was definitely at a younger age, I was into skateboarding and stuff. And then first we just had a couple vacation houses out in Summit County, and we go out there, every year a couple times, shred a little bit. And I remember when I was in 7th grade when we moved out there, and I just instantly loved it. The whole vibe there, everyone's skateboarding, everyone's snowboarding, all year round there's something to do, on a board, and that's what I fell in love with.
Bro, yeah, it's crazy. It's definitely different than city living. I live down in Denver now, but
yeah,
I appreciate the mountains so much more now that I have that perspective. Mountains are beautiful. It's a good place.
They are. It's definitely a great place.
Dude, I was just in Aspen for a couple of weeks or for a week there with the family, and it was beautiful. Absolutely crazy going through the mountains. A lot of hikes.
Aspen's sick.
Dude, yeah.
Dude, I love Aspen. It's such a good place.
So in Colorado, whenever you go up to the mountains, where do you usually tend to where's your go-to spot to go shred?
I like to, if I'm just going to go cruise around, if I'm with the family, we'll go to Beaver Creek or something, something mellow. My My brother and I will go hit Copper. They've got a good park, like Woodward has some
Probably
features and
nice.
stuff. But honestly, yeah, like Aspen has some really good mountains. I got to spend some time up there this season, and it's been a while. I kind of started snowboarding up there.
Okay.
That's where I
Yeah,
really,
James?
that's where my roots were, like Aspen Snowmass, spending time there. So to get back there was sick. I love that place. So fun.
What'd you ask?
So is that where they have the X Games? Is Aspen?
Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Aspen,
solid.
yeah. Sick,
Yeah.
sick. So 2021, I mean, do you have any big plans for this next coming season?
You know, not too much. Definitely looking forward to the snowfall
Okay.
and competing. I didn't compete at all last year, so kind of took a hiatus from the competition scene to work on some other stuff, some life stuff, and just
Yeah.
creating some companies and whatnot.
That's pretty sick.
But yeah, hopefully I'll get back into some events and be able to compete. It's weird, like they have a point system that's kind of crazy. So because I didn't do any events last year,
Cheers.
I don't have as many points to qualify.
Mhm.
But we'll see. I'm hopeful.
So you were in the Olympics in the 2018 Winter Olympics, correct?
Right.
All right. So tell us how you did there.
Dude, it was cool. I ended up 8th. I was just really stoked to make finals.
Yeah.
I was a crazy experience. I don't think I was like one of the expected team members for USA. Definitely kind of qualified with some luck. I ended up like winning the Dew Tour, which kind of solidified my position on the USA team,
Yeah.
on Team USA, which I think surprised some people as well as myself. I was like super stoked to do that. So that was fun.
Nice, nice. I don't know if I asked you this. Do you ride goofy or regular?
I'm goofy.
Goofy gang, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you got your ice on too a little bit, right?
Yeah, I got a little chain and
Yeah, staying frosty, staying icy.
Fresh powder.
What did we say yesterday? I made a fence. I made a fencer for the first time, and like the bio says like ice boy click or something like that. We IPC ice boy click.
Yep. Straight up.
No, but you're a professional snowboarder. You must be sponsored by some people. Who are you sponsored by?
Shout out Rockstar Energy. They've been holding it down for a while.
Rockstar.
That's pretty much it, dude. And then
Yeah.
Ethica hooks me up a little bit. They make some cool stuff. It's
all
clothing,
beautiful shit.
underwear.
Their gear is always like some of the best out there.
Dude, yeah, so nice. Gotta have like fresh socks and underwear. It's like the essentials.
Dude,
Don't even get into it.
All right, so he brought up the sock thing, so I have to now. All right, so like I'm a weird guy. Well, I think it's normal, but like everyone else is like, dude, that's kind of off. So like I'm one of those people like I will not wear the same pair of socks ever. I have to have a new pair of socks every time I get dressed. Like,
Bro, I respect that, honestly.
thank you, dude.
Ridiculous,
Thank you. He
ridiculous.
says I'm ridiculous. Like everyone at work, they call me crazy and everything. I'm like, dude, I'm just like, dude, me. Like, they don't have to be designer. Well, they have to be like, I like, different patterns on them sometimes, but I also just like, I just fuck with like the crew, black or white. Those are even just like sick, but like, I had to have a new pair of socks. Like, I was at his crib. We went to North Avenue Beach here in Chicago, Lake Michigan. We went back to his crib the other day, and I was like, damn it, like I forgot socks. Can I borrow some socks? Like I had them on 2 minutes. I felt so gross. Like I made him throw them away. Like I instantly like I should just wear my pink ones. I pulled out a brand new pair out of my bag. I was like, I guess I'll wear these ones.
Dude, you gotta respect the feet. You spend all your time on your feet.
I used to say that all the time, dude. Someone that gets it.
Yeah, respect the feet.
So, we mentioned that you're also in the music industry, tell us a little bit about how you got into the music industry and, what type of music you're into.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've always listened to rap music or just like, I guess a kind of a couple different genres. Like my dad was a heavy like classic rock enthusiast, so I kind of grew up listening to like The Who and like Doors and like some Leonard Skinner shit and like I don't know, a lot of the greats. So I liked classic rock, and then my brother kind of liked hip hop. So I kind of went back and forth for a while and then
Sure.
started mixing it all up. But like snowboarding, I always use headphones,
Okay.
and I just like can't ride without it. I can't ride without music really. And I'm always playing rap music. So that's kind of how I got a love for it.
Yeah.
And then I would kind of just freestyle to myself, like on the chairlift and whatnot, and with friends. Like if we were turning up, hanging out, we would all freestyle and stuff.
That's it.
I remember I was on a trip to, I think it was Mount Hood, and we were on a road trip with the Aspen Valley Ski Snowboard Club. So it was like the coach, Tyler Lindsay, and then this other coach, Ryan Jarvis, and a bunch of the homies. And I was kind of like the young kid of the group.
Yeah.
And I think that was my introduction to hip hop music really, and freestyling. I never really had heard any of it. I was super young. I was probably like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And they were all like taking turns freestyling over tight beats. And I thought it was like the sickest shit ever. So I kind of tried to learn how to do it, and then just started doing my own thing over beats a while. I think the first song I recorded, I was like 18.
Okay. What song was that? Give a shout out to that song. What song was that?
Fuck, dude. It's called, I can find it real quick. I forget what it's called though. That was so long ago. It's on my SoundCloud. I'm pulling it up. I have to. But yeah, dude, that's kind of how I got into it. And then just started recording over stuff, linked with a couple producers.
Okay.
That were homies that just made beats and stuff. And started like making songs, just kind of throwing them up on SoundCloud.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, to be honest, that's the best way to get into it. Just like fuck around with SoundCloud a little bit, then add Spotify, and then like continue to progress from there. I think it was, I don't know, like right whenever Bruce like connected us, I was going through your page or something, and on your story or something like that, you had posted a single that you just posted, and I was like, dude, he's got straight heat, and he can snowboard. This is sick. Like, so I started like listening to your music. I favorited it, definitely on Apple and shit. But yeah, one of my recent songs that you released that I liked was "Losing My Mind."
Appreciate
that. Was a good one. That was a really good one. So, I mean, you're on the podcast, so you know that we have a podcast, obviously. Have we talked to you about, what else we have going on over here?
A little bit. I've heard about the label. I know you guys got some artists that signed recently, which is dope.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a couple artists signed to our label. One main one that we really are, pushing heavily to, perform and get his music out there. The reason we started the podcast was really because I wanted to give people a voice, people that, have a voice, a chance to continue to use their voice for the better. And then people that don't have a voice to still be able to, talk and explain themselves in certain situations, or explain certain topics if they have an opinion on it. And then from there, 3 months after I started the podcast, I was like, I'm talking to a lot of artists, so let's go ahead and let's start a label. It's something like I fuck with music. It's something that, I was like, let's go ahead and add that to the mix a little bit. So I decided to start the label, got it, LLC and all that, bull crap you have to deal with and everything. Then we signed, a couple artists, and I think Seam, shout out Seam Dream. He's on Instagram at Seam Dream. Anyways, he's like one of our hip hop artists. He's a Nebraska kid. He raps. He just kills it. He just has such passion for the music that he's been doing it from such a young age. From talent shows to him just performing like everywhere and everywhere. It's funny. But yeah, like one thing that I would love to do is to get you guys together on a track.
Bro, that'd be super sick.
That'd be super sick. Would you like that?
I'd be stoked on that.
Yeah. So on the pod, we're here on the pod. So do we have your verbal commitment to do a project together?
For sure, 100%.
Nebraska boy and a mountain boy.
Dude, Nebraska boy and a mountain boy. I love it. It's gonna be a great track. So, yeah, are you gonna pull up that song?
I'm searching him up on Instagram right now. Seam Dream.
Yep, at Seam Dream.
Sick.
SIEMDREAM. You see him?
Yep. Fuck yeah.
Yep. Go ahead, give that guy a follow. He's one of our biggest artists out there right now on the 16th of this month. So what?
On the come up.
Yeah, he's definitely on the come up. Just did a track with Rocky Fresh out of Chicago, who was signed with Rick Ross, who's worked with Chris Brown, Wale, a few of the big names, Meek Mill and shit. No biggie, no biggie. But no, what? 12 days from now, we're flying out to Puerto Rico. I'm gonna put on a little show with him.
Put on a show.
It's gonna be a fucking movie. Let's be honest.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's pretty cool. It's from like starting the podcast to starting a label, and then it's only July. So 7 months later to be like in this place where I can fly this team out to Puerto Rico, PR, and we have the connections to do this. It's sick as hell, man. So getting in touch with people like you is like why I started like doing stuff like this.
I appreciate that. Yeah, of course. That's fire. That's gonna be insane. Puerto Rico seems dope, and especially like
quick trip.
Yeah,
show out there.
Really quick trip, but it's gonna be really sick. Couple days. Yeah, I'm excited. But you talked a little bit about your organization, businesses that you started. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. It's cool, dude. It's kind of a interesting story how it started. I've had like so many head injuries being a professional snowboarder for a while. Been on like the US team for like 8 years, and I guess going to different events and different training camps and experiencing concussions, the protocol for getting back to snow is really subjective.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're seeing a physician, it's always, how are you feeling? When you do a physical activity, is your heart rate going up? Are you getting a headache? Stuff like that. It's never an objective data generated test.
Yeah.
And I ended up having the opportunity to get a brain scan by this company called Wavi Medical. They make a portable EEG device, which basically measures your brain waves and its frequencies.
Okay.
And that stuff can be super affected by head trauma.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a concussion and being cleared by the physician at an event to go back out. And tried to go back out, fucking couldn't do it. Like I was a mess, dude. I was a wreck. Flew home, did another scan on myself because I had a healthy baseline.
Yeah.
So I had a good idea of how my brain was performing. Did a scan after my concussion. It showed so many different things, including like super decreased brain activity. And then I did subsequent scans over the course of my recovery until I was feeling better again. Basically, it occurred to me like, holy shit, this should be used in concussion protocols. And it's not. Like even at the highest level, like I'm doing, I'm on like this professional US team and they're not using stuff like this.
Crazy.
Dude, it was absurd. So I basically started this nonprofit called Happy Healthy Brain Foundation. And our first goal was to incorporate that into concussion protocols.
Yeah.
To really bring objective data into it. And then we started doing just normal brain scans for the community. Anybody benefits, like unless like if you're elderly and you're prone to cognitive decline, you can track your cognitive decline, see if you're kind of on an early road to dementia.
Yeah.
If you get in like a car accident, you can do the same thing. It's the same, just head injury. And then if you're like doing stuff sports related and you get a concussion, like everybody benefits. So we started doing that for the community. And then I was reached out to by some clinics that do like neurological therapies and treatments.
Okay.
So we started basically helping clinics that do neuro treatments to assess their treatment protocols and see how they were working on their patients. To like, so for example, we did a scan on somebody who had severe depression, had done suicide attempts, severe anxiety. They were homicidal. They ended up going and getting ketamine treatments, which is kind of this new wave treatment for depression and anxiety and stuff. Feeling so much better after that. We scanned him, saw like a crazy change in his brain performance.
Yeah.
And we're continuing to do scans over the course of his treatment, kind of to assess.
What'd you say?
So the ketamine treatment's like the IVs, correct?
Exactly. Yeah, like a ketamine infusion.
Yeah.
So pretty crazy. They'll go to like a clinic and get ketamine infused, and basically trip super hard.
Yeah.
And then the effects from that. So there's these things called like NMDA receptors in your brain. And they can associate, like if those are really firing, they associate with things like past experiences, past traumatic experiences, or like stuff that gets you down, like anxiety, just like memory kind of. So those NMDA receptors get basically antagonized by the ketamine molecule. So it like creates a distance between all of those things and kind of like cuts it off. It actually reduces your brain performance a lot. So like your brain's usually creating anywhere from like 10 microvolts to 30 microvolts worth of electricity. And doing ketamine will like significantly reduce that. So it kind of just puts you into like this crazy, like chill state.
Yeah.
But I've heard it's crazy. Like we have a neurologist partner for my foundation, and he kind of explained to us that a lot of the time it has a negative effect on the patient, like, but some of the time it has a positive effect on the patient. So, but yeah, we've been doing like all kinds of treatments, different clinics and stuff. Ketamine was just one of them, but it's crazy, man. It's really cool stuff. I'm stoked to be involved with it. I'm like a mental health sufferer, I guess you could say, for lack of a better word. I've definitely had my experience with anxiety and depression. And I think that's derived from so many concussions, dude. And like not knowing when I was supposed to go back out. So that's kind of like the whole program, really.
What do you think your next steps for the program are going to be or looking like?
You know, it's interesting. We've had some cool conversations with some organizations that we're trying to partner with that will help us kind of fund studies. I created a for-profit called Brainwave because Happy Healthy Brain has had like a pretty negative impact on my personal savings account.
Yeah.
Nonprofits are like super, super expensive to run. And especially if you're not getting donations. So like, for example, the cost of these scans don't even get close to being paid for by the average donation we get from people. So I end up just paying so much money out of my personal bank account. So I started a for-profit because, you know, got to pay bills and whatnot. But I'll be doing scans. I'll be doing scans for an NIH funded grant starting in November. And this grant's for addiction and is it basically pain and addiction and rehabilitation study. So it's super cool to be involved with.
So how could like the everyday people like us, you know, how could we help, you know, contribute to that? Like, is there a website or anything?
Yeah. So if you guys want to check it out, go to happyhealthybrainfoundation.org.
Okay.
Kind of got all of our info, everything about us on there. And, you know, you can definitely make a donation if you feel like it. And everything is appreciated. That will go towards helping us kind of further our mission to, you know, increase awareness and advance brain health through these baseline brain scans.
We'll definitely like post it in the comments and in the descriptions. But what was it? Happy Healthy what?
Happyhealthybrainfoundation.org.
Sick. We'll definitely contribute to the cause. You know, that'd be sick.
We'll put the for-profit in as well.
Yeah, we'll put the for-profit in there as well. You know, like I think everything you just like mentioned was very interesting. You know, as someone that has dealt with, you know, mental health issues in the past myself, you know, it's not an easy topic to talk about. But not only mental health, but like just your whole, you know, your whole brand, you know, and how it's to help athletes and non-athletes as well, you know, when it comes to concussions, you know, and protecting the brain, you know, as someone that played, you know, high school and college football, you know, like I remember one time I had a concussion and I remember like 8 months later, some of the same symptoms were like still there. They weren't going away. And like, that's when, you know, I kind of had to step away from the game, you know, but, you know, like I completely understand, like, well, I don't want to say I completely understand, but like, it just like means a lot to me that like you like started an organization to help people that go through similar situations, you know, just like that, you know, And I think that's,
Bro, I appreciate
especially
that.
at 22 years old, you know, that's badass right there.
I appreciate that, dude. That means a lot. It's hard. Like I've almost moved away from the competitive snowboarding because of the risk reward ratio, like getting concussions, you know, and how high the levels become in the sport itself. Like there's so much more risk involved. And honestly, the snowboard industry is like kind of been falling off for the last 10, 15 years. So everybody that's doing it is basically doing it for their own fun, kind of to prove it to themselves that they can, that they're boss, that they're, you know, or, you know, just because they love the sport. It's really not money related or financially related, because the industry is not producing that for the athletes at all. Like there's an exception, you know, like Sean.
Yeah, that's news to us. Like I thought, you know, it was like it's professional snowboarding. Like that's where you should ton of money like being poured into that, you know.
X Games, all that.
It's not like
crazy. Like I went to the Olympics. I made $5,000 off that.
Get the
That's crazy.
fuck out of here. What the fuck?
Isn't that stupid, bro? Like
You went to the Olympics, you went to the finals, and like you fucking got $5,000.
yeah, bro. That's what the US team gave me. Kind of crazy. I was like, sick. All right. Like I just
bless you, bro. Like I'm sorry. Like yeah, 5,000. Like
and not that that's like everything. Not that
yeah,
that's
no,
everything.
not that money's everything, but like in the Olympics, like I used to figure a little more, you know. But
Well, especially like, bro, I remember being there, this kid, and like there's different circumstances for different countries. Like, one of my homies who's Japanese was like, I think had just turned 16 and fucking broke his femur in half like during practice and like messed up his pelvis and his back. Like that affects you for life. Like your body is like messed up for life after that. And like you're not necessarily gaining anything but experience. So it's savage, it's crazy, but
very gnarly. Very.
Do you know how many concussions you've had personally at this point? Like, have you kept track?
No, honestly, no. I think my first one was, it's crazy. I had a couple skateboarding at a young age, probably a few before I was 10. And then I started snowboarding when I was around 8. And yeah, I have no idea how many I've had. Definitely close to, I'd say close to 50.
That's
I thought you were going to say close to 10.
Yeah, dude, that was a reckless number. Like I've had probably about 5 or 6, but like when
one,
you said
God.
50, I'm like, damn, bro, that's a different level, you know.
Bro, it's crazy. Not all of them were like super gnarly and like got knocked out.
Yeah.
But I think as you get them, you get more susceptible to them, and that's scientifically proven. Like nowadays, and that's what kind of is playing into part of my dilemma on going back to competitive snowboarding is I'll go out, not even hit my head, just fall hard and experience symptoms.
Yeah.
So
that's sad, you know, because like snowboarding is such like a fun sport, you know, just to do casually. So sad that you know you hear that so many of the professional athletes are dealing with stuff like this, you know. Yeah, I mean, I just wish there was more, you know, like you can only do so much, you know, about it for it, you know. I just wish like more people were aware of this, you know, and more people like really took this seriously, like you are. Apparently.
That's why you start in the foundation, though, you know, get the awareness out there and start a change, right?
But yeah,
awareness. Sorry,
100%. Yeah, but I mean, did you have anything else you wanted to share with us? You have anything coming up, you know, like
4th of July plans?
Yeah, 4th of July plans.
Dude, honestly, not too much. I was just grilling with my girlfriend and my brother.
Okay, no, really.
Had some turkey burgers and some hot dogs and some drinks, and I think we'll just probably chill by the pool for the rest of the day and I don't know, enjoy the sun while it's out. But how about you guys? What are you thinking?
Exact same thing. We're about to go back to my place or stay here and grill up a couple beers.
Yeah, a couple beers. beers and pizza, probably frozen pizza.
No,
I got a nice ass frozen pizza in there, dude.
I guess we got it all.
Nah, and we got those burgers from the other day too.
True that.
But yeah, just keeping it simple this year, you know. Yeah, I mean, my family doesn't live in Chicago, you know. His lives like out in the burbs, right? Mm-hmm. And so like, I mean, he could go home. He's just a bad family member, I guess.
I'm here for the podcast. What do you want me to say?
But like mine's
No, we're taking it easy.
mine's just a mission to get home. But yeah, we loved having you on here, man. Super dope, like getting to finally meet you like face to face. We definitely will have you on the podcast again, like in the future. We would love to have that, especially closer.
Maybe we'll come out to Colorado.
Especially when we'll be definitely coming out to Colorado. We've been talking about actually moving out there next year, actually. So I mean, that's my goal, and he says it's something he wants to do too. So we'll see what happens, Besides that, yeah, dude, like we'll definitely be contributing to your foundation, we'll definitely spread the awareness, bro. We'll be sending you some merch from our podcast and our company. So you'll be receiving one of our artist shirts team who you're going to be doing a collab track with, as well as we'll send you one of our shirts. Hey, go get that shirt up there.
Up next podcast?
Yeah, get that one. Show it.
Thank you.
Yeah, up next podcast.
So it says, okay, hear us out. It says not now, later, up next podcast. So we'll go ahead and send you one of those as well. They're like dry fits. So like they're super comfy. We'll definitely sport that around. We'll send you a couple of them. What sizes? We'll send you a couple sizes for the. So what sizes do you want? Like large, mediums?
Yeah, I'll rock a medium. That'll work.
You're rocking medium. So I'll send you a couple mediums, a couple larges to share around or whatever, But yeah, we definitely appreciated you on here. We had a good time. I hope you have a great rest of your 4th. But we don't want to take up too much more of your time. You have anything to say?
No, I appreciate your time, man, and rock on.
Dude, yeah, thank you guys so much for your time too. I appreciate being on the podcast, especially on the 4th of July. You guys taking time out of your day to talk.
What's more American than that? Being on the podcast, up next podcast on the 4th.
Fucking straight up. But yeah, dude, go have a good rest of your guys' day. I appreciate it. And it's crazy. It's dope. I'll just add in for a little last thought. It's dope that you guys are from Chicago. I got some family from out there. Like my whole dad's side is Chicago.
Yeah.
But yeah,
what part do you know?
A lot of like my grandma and my aunt live in the city, and then my other aunt lives out in Lake Forest. And
nice area.
And my dad grew up in the city somewhere, I forget, but
that's what's up.
Whole family.
That's what's up. Awesome. Well, we'll definitely be in touch regarding music and just talking business here in the future. But for the rest of the day and for now, peace out.
Right on. Have a good one, you guys. Thank you.
Have a good one, man.
All right.
Yeah. How we left things got me uncomfortable. I guess I wanna know if I ever cross your mind. I guess I'm doing